I don't think we have a. What do you call it?
You have a quorum. Jerry's on it or Bill, excuse me, and then Ralph is on it. So you have 4 out of your 5 members here. Jerry and Bill. So I think you're good to go.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
All right, so we will call the Airport Development and Operating Committee meeting to order. It's Monday, March 25th, 1 o'clock, and we're located at the Ocean Shores Library. Can we do a roll call, please? You can say your name. I don't.
Rich Sire, Stuart Green.
Okay.
Bill Capron.
Here. Ron DeVore here. Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
And we have Jerry online as well. Doesn't look like maybe his audio is working. Okay, so can I have a motion to approve the meeting agenda?
I make a motion, we approve the agenda.
A second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 So the next order of business will be public communication. I didn't receive any written public comments on behalf of the airport board. We do have a citizen. Do either of you have a public comment?
No.
You can make, okay, no.
How about a council comment?
Council comment, okay. So we only have one piece of business, and I'll just begin with saying, and all of you I'm sure know, Sarah Bisson, who was the airport manager, has left the city to write grants elsewhere. And so my name is Sarah Logan, and for the brief time, myself and the city administrator will be duly taking on the role while we get everything sorted out. But I know a big, huge topic for the airport board and something we didn't want to lose momentum on was the 2024 Airport Appreciation Day planning. It sounds like you guys need to discuss, and then I also need to figure out what you've done in the past, where you're at now, what we need to do for the future before maybe our next meeting where we recap. So who wants to start?
Well, I guess I'll start. I have gotten an agreement from the DFW to provide hot dog sales at the appreciation. I have not yet reached out to the National Guard to see about getting them to send a helicopter. I'm gonna work on that still. I will do that this afternoon, actually. That's my report.
Okay, this is Rich Sires. I had a couple of action items. There was a communication to people to inform them about the Airport Appreciation Days. Ed Duncan, he's the guy, as we all know, with the local car museum.
Mm-hmm.
So I spoke to him, he was enthusiastic, he said, yeah, sure, just let him know the date. I was a little bit unsure of the exact date.
I was gonna ask you, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Bill, he's in charge of that.
Okay, Bill, what's the date for the airport board to know?
The Saturday before Labor Day. Before Labor Day.
24th?
I believe that's it. I don't have my calendar in front of me. But it's the Saturday before Labor Day weekend.
And what was the time for this?
I think we've done 10 to 2 in the past.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
In my notes from the last meeting, I had 11 to 3 o'clock. Oh, we could get like, I mean, what do you think, Bill?
11 to 3 works. 11 to 3, I mean, 10 to 3 could work too. So usually we're trying to get all set up at 10 o'clock and we run till 2 or 3, depending on what the crowd does.
So maybe just say set up, we'll do at 10 and then
Sure.
officially open from 11 to 3.
Works for me.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
Okay,
And looking at my little phone calendar here, the 24th, August 24th is indeed that Saturday.
All right. Thank you, Stuart.
Oh, and I also had to get the word out to, the local EAA. The local chapter here is John Martinson, and I did inform him. So, yeah, my two action items are done.
EAA, you said?
Experimental Aircraft Association.
Okay, who's next? Me?
Sure.
All right. So I'm working on a safety plan. So the goal, of course, is to keep uh, spectators from getting anywhere near running airplanes, and we do that by routing running airplanes away from spectators. And we'll need a bunch of cones from Public Works, but that's never been a problem in the past. I'll get a count of how many of those and let Sarah know. Normally, the car show, we set them up on it would be the ramp to the north of the pilot's lounge on the west end, right on the pavement there. And then they can have their chairs and stuff in the lawn behind their cars. And we park aircraft on the east side of the ramp. So we try to fill the first row next to the taxiway first. And so people can walk the parked airplanes but we taxi airplanes in there without to keep a distance from spectators. So we set up the VFW, the hot dogs, right in front of the pilot's lounge on the east side, so that then they can pass an extension cord through the window and plug in what they need to plug in. Usually to the south of the pilot's lounge, somebody sets up for. I think at one point we had the local Paws chapter, the animal shelter was out there. We've had amateur radio guys set up out there. I usually have my hangar open with my airplane parked in front of it, so people come look at the airplane in the hangar. I don't know what other hangar owners are planning to do, so that's kind of a personal privacy thing. Or you either want to show off your airplane, or you don't want to show off in your hangar. You don't want to show off the clutter in your life. So but the safety is pretty simple. So
Okay, question, Bill. Your safety plan, excellent idea, thank you. What form, is that like a 3 or 4 page written thing that you turn in, or what?
I don't usually have a 3 or 4 page written thing. I do have a site diagram that I draw up and show how to do it, and I have some. At least I believe I still have some safety vests for the guys that are marshaling airplanes to wear.
Okay.
So may I? Okay,
Certainly.
we have a safety officer now for the city of Ocean Shores. And that's our project manager, Becky. Not that she, again, like all of us, knows a ton about airplanes and airports and stuff like that. But I'm sure that she'll want to see that safety plan also.
I would love to meet with her.
Okay, I could set that up for you.
Okay. If you could send me an email with her contact information, I'll reach out to her.
Okay.
I don't know when I'm going to be in town next at this point. So
Okay. And she can always do remote too, if that works best for you, but I would be remiss to not say she wants to see the safety plan, so.
now in the last one we had, which is a couple of years ago now because of COVID, the fire department came out with a truck and an aid unit just to show off their equipment, just basically just to hang out at the airport instead of hang out at the fire station. So
Sure.
we of course parked them near the gate in case they had to go somewhere. So but people seem to enjoy looking at the fire trucks and stuff, especially kids. So but that's good, you have a safety officer. So I'll meet with her, and I should meet with her at the airport just so that I can you know, it's a lot easier to show what you're talking about than talk about what you're talking about. So,
Okay, yeah. That, go ahead.
Yeah, what you bring up the fire department, has anybody actually reached out to them yet?
I have, so I'm making a list and I'll send it out to everybody, and then I'll also, anything city-wise, I'll make sure those people are contacted.
Okay, yeah, good idea. What about our local radio?
I have them on the list already.
Okay,
okay.
So what is
just-
the goal, I guess, so I can have an understanding of the Airport Appreciation Day? Like, what are we trying to achieve? Is it just a huge citizen gathering of our, you know, being excited about our local airport? Cause there's a lot of things that we have connections to that we could bring in, but if that's not like what you guys vision, I don't want to step on toes. So understanding the goal of this day would be helpful.
It's simply to encourage the taxpayers here in the city, the local folks, to come and see the airport and understand that we do have one. And let them look at neat and wonderful things that make them happy and makes them happy to have an airport.
Actually,
Yes.
Stuart, I think it's more than that. I think the goal is to let the people know that the airport is a valuable asset to the city as far as to the economy, to disaster preparation, to that it's not just a rich guy's playground out there. It is a valued asset to the city. We want people to come out and see what it's all about, as opposed to you know, a lot of people's perception is, oh, we have that airport out there and that's just so the rich guys can play with their toys. Well, it's really not true. So I mean, the last year we got another hangar built, and I don't know the final cost that he's into that hangar, but the last numbers I heard was it was $125,000 to build a hangar out there.
Yeah,
So
and going up.
and going up. So
So that's similar, like I like the part showing them the emergent part of it and the resources and stuff like that, and it kind of goes similar to like how you have the fire department. Like you want it to be viewed as significant to the other city assets that we have, or emergency assets. So like, for example, we hold National Night Out, and so that's where we'll have, you know, it's police, it's fire, but we do all of these other ones that don't normally get as much view, I guess. So we'll have a vert there, the CERT team that goes out and does all of the things. We'll have ham radio, these different things that'll come to that event. So I'm wondering, like, would it be beneficial for those individuals to be a part of that? They're all a part of the emergent, they're all a part of being an asset, they're all valuable, and they kind of all go hand in hand.
yeah.
In a way.
The CERT team would be a good one to have there, them set up a table and what would, CERT. Civilian, or community civilian.
Yeah, so it's the group that we call out. So if there's like a tsunami warning or a massive fire or an earthquake, we call out. They'll do road closures for us. They're all first aid and CPR certified. There's a huge group. You know, we have Citizen Patrol, which is a big thing. They go by and look at the airport 5 times a day and see what's going on there. They work for the police department. So when everybody kind of sees those things surrounding, it hits a little bit harder how valuable something
I think
is.
the CERT team would be a good one to have out there.
Yeah, I think any organization that is associated with, you know, public safety, because like I mentioned before, there's only one road leading into this town. And the only other way of getting in is that airport.
Are you showboating that you're gonna get out first? Is that what you're saying to me? Yeah.
Just want to raise awareness.
No, I think it's,
We'll be leading the way.
yeah.
yes.
It's just something to think about, because, you know, I think the more you put there and the more citizens see the involvement of all of these other groups that they know just a little bit more of, it's gonna do something to like, oh, wow, you know, this is another part of living in Ocean Shores that we have available that other towns don't.
Sarah, thank you. That's very valuable input. I really appreciate your thought process on that.
Thanks.
Okay, I had on my notes from our last meeting in January, that Sarah was gonna talk to the RC Flyers. I don't know if she did that.
I had a meeting with them last week.
So they'll be there?
That was the question I was gonna pose to you guys. They would love to be there. And I was supposed to ask you if you guys were excited about that.
Okay, I would like to see them there. As I understand it, they're being allowed to use the airport.
They have an agreement with us for, safety and all of these things that has been established with the city of Ocean Shores. We do have a few little finite things to look into, some appendixes with the FAA that was brought to our attention last week. But other than that, we feel comfortable with them being a part of it. So that
Okay,
was what I was
it's great
going
to
to
get
do,
this.
is ask you guys.
More local citizens making use of it.
Mhm.
And to me, that's always been important.
And something different that hasn't been done in the past that is being done now with them is that I have requested and obtained. I have their list of membership and I have their membership ID numbers and verified that they're all current, which when they are current, they can only have those membership ID numbers if they have the insurance that covers them and so on and so forth. So between the meeting last week and today, we obtained all of that information. So
Well, the AMA does provide
Yep.
huge insurance.
Mhm. And they all have it with, confirmed as of last week.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Bill, I think we spoke at one of our earlier meetings that the RC Flyers have to monitor CTAF. Is that gonna be part of the safety plan?
Yeah, we definitely need them not flying when aircraft are flying. So
Yeah.
they be restricted to just displaying their planes as opposed to flying. So we'll have to, I definitely need to talk with them about what their plan would be for that day.
Well, I mean, is there any reason why they couldn't give demonstrations?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
So,
They just have to be, well, obviously monitor CTAF.
that
And
doesn't mean that everybody's talking on it. So,
Well,
they
is there,
have, the AMA has some pretty in-depth rules about how they're supposed to behave.
yes.
And including the guy that's flying the airplane, sure, but there is another person, his sole job is to
correct.
watch for manned aircraft.
And is there any way in the safety plan that we could time, like when airplanes are going to be doing something, like maybe it's from 12 to 1 or something, they do their demonstration, like, is that a possibility?
that's a
It is
possibility.
a possibility to note them the airport closed for, 30 minutes or an hour so that they could do a demonstration. So,
Yeah.
So that they can show everybody their things all the other times and talk to them and whatever, and then they know this is the time frame.
Yeah, but that would, like Bill said, that would have to be a NOTAM. And Sarah used to,
Yeah, who's gonna,
yeah, she was the one who would,
I'll look at her old ones and see if I can do that. If you guys decide on a date, or I mean a time, I'll go find her previous ones and.
one thing I suggest you do, you have to find a previous one stuff, but talk to one of us about how to phrase it. The FAA sometimes doesn't like NOTAMs. I mean, they're really happy if they get a NOTAM that says runway closed for painting. That's great with them. But they would not be happy to get a NOTAM saying runway closed for time trial by the Ford Focus Club.
no.
They would go, no.
So who would like to help me with the NOTAM?
Well,
Boy.
you could word it to airport closed for aerial demonstration. Okay.
I like that.
So whether
Yeah, that's a good one.
does that mean that we're going to have a overfly of an F-16, or does it mean that we're going to have model airplanes? Oh, they're both aerial demonstrations, so it's a little vague to do whatever we wanted.
Okay,
That's right, aerial demonstration.
Okay.
That's it. And of course, that's supposing that Oh, let's read the notice too.
Right.
Yes, which they don't. So you still
Therefore,
need to
therefore they
observe
have
them.
the safety guy watching, the guy
Yep.
that A, doesn't read the notice, and B, doesn't bother to make a radio call inbound.
Mm-hmm.
Or he listening to Hoquiam, not Ocean Shores.
Okay, so do we have the RC Flyers actually said they're gonna be there?
They have told me that they will be there, they just need the date, as long as you guys were okay with them coming.
Okay, yeah, sure, so what about what do you think, a half hour or a 1 hour block for their flight demo?
They currently have 14 members, and 5 of them, I believe is what he said, had whatever you call them, models
Airplanes.
or airplanes, that would be willing to come.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably a
One, an hour.
An hour? All right,
An
well, how about,
hour will probably be plenty, but a half hour will probably be enough. So
Well, yeah, but
we
go
can
for an
ask,
hour.
we'll ask them how much time they think they need.
you wanna say 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock?
Second,
It might be better to do, 2 half-hour blocks as opposed to, do a 1 to 1:30 and then a 2 to 2:30. So then you could have arrivals and departures in between them.
Ooh, I don't know, Bill, that gets kinda,
that gets
Yeah,
complicated.
I hear you. I understand. So
Let's just move to
let's
1
see
hour.
how much time they think they need, and then we'll go on with that.
okay, but tentatively, how about just to make it easy on everyone, noon to 1?
Yeah, tentatively, I'd go with that.
And in the interim, I can ask them.
Okay,
I like the way you're jumping right in, taking that airport manager role seriously.
yeah.
Mm-mm. Don't stop saying things like that on the recording. No, I just know the 2019 one wasn't as amazing as it could have been, and we're going through this kind of transition, and we don't wanna drop the ball from the city side.
Well, it was Bill who mentioned 3 years ago
Mhm.
that we need to start doing this at least a year in advance.
Oh, yeah,
So,
yeah.
And he's right.
Mhm. Well,
Honestly-
National Night Out's only 2 hours, and I start having to do everything January 1, and it's not until almost September
Yeah,
now, so.
okay, so the last note I had that Sarah's action items was she was gonna contact the Beach Boys Car Club. Again, I don't know if she did.
I don't know if she did that, however, the mayor is in several car clubs, so I could probably ask him and he can probably find out.
Okay,
Beach Boy?
Beach Boys Car Club. I never heard of it.
I gave him just to display.
Well, that'll give the mayor something important to do.
Did I miss did Sarah Bisson had contacted the Toledo Skydiving Club? Have we heard back from them and are they coming?
I can check her emails to see if she did.
In years past, I have spoken with them about it before. They want money. They're gonna want money. Do we have anything in our slush fund? Does anybody know?
We're gonna pay them to show up?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't think I don't think I would go there. I thought they would like to come out there to sell their club and show what skydiving's about.
yeah, for a fee.
Oh,
Last
okay.
time I talked to them about it, number of 4 or 5 years ago, was $500, I think, was what they wanted. And unfortunately, that was the year that we had to just cancel the whole thing due to really bad weather.
Mm.
But I forget where the money was coming from. I think I'm gonna ask you, so somebody should probably dig into it. And at one point, we had a fund.
Oh.
I have
Or-
some money that I've taken out of the donation box that's in a Ziploc bag at my house. I'm not sure how much it is, but it's a couple $100, I think. So
Is that, I mean, anyway,
I'll send you guys not the budget papers, cause those are confusing, but I'll break it down and look at Airport Appreciation Day. I'm pretty sure there's even a fund for it specifically, but
well, that would surprise me, but, I mean, the airport operating committee.
no, yeah, there's
Has
one.
a fund.
Mhm. So I'll go and look at the budget and see what she had allocated, cause we also have to present a breakdown to council. So even if you have just a fund, we have to prove to council, this is the things that we're gonna use it on. So
Yeah,
I'll
it
go.
wasn't part of the budget, it's something, it was a discrete fund,
Mhm.
and it was funded by, well, mostly by the contributions that Bill collects out of the little contribution.
So
box.
we're not allowed to like have buckets of money, so it would have had to be deposited in, so like even with the radio board or the radio station.
Mhm.
Even their donations and things like that, they all get deposited, it all goes through the city's general fund. So we're not allowed to just have buckets of donation money. So if that's a thing, we can have a line item that's airport donations like we have for KOSW donations, or the police department has donations, but it all has to filter through the city's general fund. That's RCW rules, like that's not
And
even,
the politicians get their hands on it.
I mean,
Okay, so Bill, it looks like you're gonna have to break loose of that Ziploc bag.
kind of sounds like it, doesn't
Turn it
it?
over, Bill.
but you guys can say, you know, when we deposit it, it can say donation, or it could be as specific as Airport Appreciation Day. And when they redo the budget for the following year, they can allocate that same dollar amount that's left in there for the next budget. So
What's
it's not,
What's Ziploc bag? I don't know.
it's not like it just goes away.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, you know, this is an RCW, so we have to take it seriously. And, you know, we can't just be, you know, have as informal as it seems it has been, you know, we ought to tighten up on that.
Mhm. Well, donations specifically, cause you know, just,
Yeah,
but we can have it specific in the budget to where that money doesn't get used for anything else, and it can even be as specific as when it goes to council, unless we're in some crazy financial crisis, which I don't think people are making wild donations during that time anyway.
Yeah.
We just say, this is the amount left in that donation account, we'd like to have that reallocated by the council for the next biennium budget. It's
And then,
that simple,
and then it is the airport board that then decides how to spend it.
correct?
So do we just open up a folder into the general fund for the airport money?
So that's the other option, is that we can put a request in with the finance director to do a line item that's specific to donation or specific to Airport Appreciation Day or whatever.
Airport board.
Or airport board, I don't know, yeah, she would tell us. But we, like the police department has that, the radio station has that, the fire department has that. So
okay,
I don't have a donation account for my budget.
so we're gonna add a donation line item to the,
I can absolutely
Okay.
send our finance director a note. Who is there a chair of this board?
well, I was gonna bring that up. I
Only
didn't wanna bring
because
it up right now because we talk about the airport
Yeah.
appreciation day, there were 2 or 3 items that I did wanna bring up as other business.
well, it kind of ties in because so I do all the work with all the other boards aside from this one, and when I'm doing these kinds of things, I typically include the chair at very minimum in any of the correspondence that goes out, so that person, because they're, you know, pretty much in charge of making sure the board knows all the things. So it would be nice to know who I'm gonna be CCing in all of the correspondence.
Thank you, Stuart, that was very generous of you to step up.
You know, I have been in chair in the past, so has Bill. But I'm gone at least half the year. Makes it kind of hard to
I don't want to do it.
be functional.
What's that, Bill?
I don't want to do it. I've been chair. I don't want to do it.
I won't bother you that much.
No.
Yeah, all right, I'll stick my head in the guillotine, what the hell, I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay, that's.
All in favor? Aye.
I,
It's just like cause you
Thank
know,
you.
we have all these different things going on. It's like, if I'm missing a beat or something like that, hey, it's just easier if somebody else is looking at that stuff too, from the
Okay.
board specific.
Since we're on that subject, let me back up here. Are we done with our airport appreciation days?
Was there anything else on the action list?
Yeah, actually there was.
Okay.
For advertising for the airport appreciation days, the Washington Pilots Association, WPA.
Wings,
Huh?
Wings
Yeah,
is the newsletter.
Wings is their newsletter. Need to get a word out to them.
And then, of course, the radio
Washington-
station.
NPA.
And General Aviation News. Those are the two, you might call Washington State publications.
There's a Facebook group called Flights Around the Pacific Northwest, or FAT PNW. So I'm not a Facebook guy, but I understand they're pretty active on Facebook. So if somebody's a Facebook person,
Write that down, I'll join the group.
Okay, what was the name of that again, Bill?
it's Flights Around the Pacific Northwest, and they shorten it to FAT PMW.
So who did like the flyers and stuff before?
Somebody named Sarah.
So we'll do the flyers, and then we'll do Facebook, and then we'll also have it announced on the radio and the mayor's report.
We have some of those, or at one point we had a set of those Burma Shave signs that went out in the median when you came into the city. I don't know if they couldn't find them last time or they got new ones or what, but I know we had a set of those.
Pretty good ones out there, weren't there?
I can ask the convention center, that's where normally keeps them after we take them down.
Yeah, that would be the place to look for, I think.
Okay, and I'll take the actions to contact WPA, the Wings newsletter, and also General Aviation News.
Do you want a flyer to send them, or a write-up, or? You guys can write, you're good writers. Okay, never mind, you can do it.
Well, actually, I guess that's a good point. Like a little trifold brochure or something
Something.
that you can put around the various pilots lounges.
So I could do a draft and send it out, and you guys can just work off of
A
that.
draft and a trifold. Yeah, because flying around here up to Bremerton, Everett, wherever, and just drop a few off in the pilots lounges.
Okay,
So you'll make a trifold?
sure,
All right.
you can add to it. I'm looking at you. I just keep volunteering you for stuff.
That's okay.
Yeah, she's behind me here taking notes and action items.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, and every successful man is a great one,
Yeah, I mean, that's the truth.
and there she is.
And vice versa.
All right, are we off the airport appreciation days? And on to other business?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, two things. One was the maintenance of physical infrastructure on the airport and division of responsibilities for that. Who changes the light bulbs? Who cuts the grass?
Public Works,
All of it?
Well, no,
they do the grass.
they don't do the light bulbs on the runway lights and stuff.
No.
Bill's been pretty much in charge of taking care of light bulbs and everything on the runway lighting and the pappies and all that. I stay on top of that pretty well.
Yeah, you have done a good job of that, Bill. Thank you.
Public Works mows the lawn.
Okay.
And hopefully they've learned not to run over the runway markers.
The taxiway reflectors.
Is this documented anywhere?
Which part?
The division of responsibilities?
No,
No.
Okay.
we can document it though.
Well, yeah, just put it in the minutes is probably
Yeah.
good enough, I would think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I think I need to do a recap also because like, John Wagner's not here, who the airport, or, you know, Sarah used to work with. We have a new street supervisor. Like it would be a good time with all of this transition to like put that out there, what the expectation is, and then there's no funny business after that.
Okay. There was one item when I texted in here the other day. Didn't somebody go out there on the tie down area and put the new tie down ropes out there? 'Cause,
There's some, I believe there's some more rope in the pilot's lounge, new rope.
yeah, there
So,
is a pile of them.
There's a lot of
you know,
rope.
we got a bunch of rope from, I think the Focus Fanatics provided the rope for us when they used the taxiway that one time. And, you know, we started to put it all out and I thought, well, nah, it'll deteriorate in the weather. Let's just put some of it out. So we put out enough for more than enough for the number of airplanes we usually get. But yeah, those ropes, it'd be good to change those out before,
I think, yeah, we put out, as I recall, we put out tie downs on the first 2 rows of tie down spots. We didn't bother on the rows back by the grass.
that's correct.
But
Yeah, because taxiing those tie down ropes, I was real leery of sucking one of those up into the prop. I just wonder if they should even be out there. What do
Well,
you think?
a lot of airports do not provide rope, and then you get there and you don't have any tie downs with you, and then you're thinking this isn't very friendly. So I've gotten in the habit. I always carry a set, but I always like to find a rope when I get there. So
I mean, is it a concern that, it didn't occur to me until I was actually trying to pull into one of the slots, and I thought, you know, if I pull one of those ropes up into the prop, that's expensive.
yeah, I mean, you know, you idle in. I've actually never seen a rope come off the ground from a prop wash. You know, I suppose it's possible, but I don't know.
What do you think, Stuart? I mean, is that a liability?
I've never seen it happen either, to be honest with you.
It's not a liability for the city.
You know, I could, you know, a prop, sure, might blow the rope, but it'll blow it half away from the prop area,
Yeah,
I would think.
yeah, maybe it's not an issue, but okay, all right, we can let it go.
And as ropes deteriorate, if we see them deteriorated, we can indeed get new ropes out of the stash. That's in the pilot's lounge.
Yeah. And the last item I wanted to bring up was, it occurred to me, one of the discussions that we had in our last meeting and the meeting before that was, like you had said, Bill, how do we convince the public that the airport is not just a rich man's playground? And the obvious element, of course, is that it's the only other way to get into the city, if the road ever gets cut for any reason. But it also occurred to me the other day as I was reading in Aviation Week about the eVTOL industry, which starting this year and next year, some of those designs are going to get their airworthiness certificates. Joby Aviation, Archer Aviation. Those eVTOLs are very small vehicles. You know, we're talking 2, 4 passengers. And they're going to be setting up scheduled public transportation to thousands of sites across the country that never had this service before. But they can only do that if you've got an airport. So although the airport is, we have no scheduled passenger aviation going in there now, we could in the future, once those eVTOLs start swarming around the skies everywhere. Who knows? With the airport, a couple years from now, 5 years from now, we might have scheduled service into Ocean Shores Airport. It's a possibility. I just wanted to make a record of that and bring it out to everybody's awareness.
Well, and I think there's no question also, we have doubled in population in 4 years. We have a lot of people that have bought secondary properties here from, you know, northern Washington, Oregon, California. And the more that the city and other industries here promote tourism and stuff, there's going to be an uptick in people that can and will fly into this airport to come and do things in Ocean Shores.
At one time, they had DC-3s bringing people in. Okay, that was back in the 60s with Pat Boone.
Yeah,
Bringing
that
in
was
first-
the airport, middle of town too.
What's DC-3?
Yeah. But yeah, they used to land on the strip right out.
Oh, yeah, I've seen
Is
pictures,
that-
not of the plane, but I've seen pictures where that would have been doable.
Cause that stupid golf course took over that.
Yeah, short final over the bowling alley.
I'm not sure that was there then.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Do you guys have like historical photos that you put up during these things? Of like the airport when it first started, or the city when, like you're saying, like, do you have? Cause that'd be cool to have those
There's a couple
blown up.
things in the pilot's lounge.
Cause that would be cool to have those blown up and kind of out there for people to look at during, like, here's the history also of this airport and how long it's been around and what it started off as, like you said, planes landing, what, in the golf course?
It wasn't a golf course.
Right, but you know, that's kind of the stuff that people will come out to see also, and which
Yeah,
would add.
they're in the pilot's lounge, aren't they? Are they, Bill?
There are some.
I think there's some stuff in the pilot's lounge. It's, you know, it's faded into the for me.
I'm assuming the pilot's lounge will be open, or we.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but we could get them enhanced, like on
Yeah.
poster boards, and I'll ask Keitha also, cause she had that historical grant and got a ton of historical photos of Ocean Shore, so there's a good, I'm just saying that's what people like to see, like you're
Yeah.
asking them to appreciate an airport, well, am I appreciating the airport it is right now, or seeing the historical value also of how this has come along throughout Ocean Shores?
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
That's up to them.
Yeah, sure.
I was wondering, sitting here, you know, we were talking about value, Aerovac over in, Oakland. I wonder if they would be, somebody that could be invited over here to show, how fast.
Oh.
Aerovac is.
Good
And that
point.
would go along with the safety that
Mhm.
we're going to get started.
Oh, you mean life?
Life flight. Mhm.
Aerovac, yes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
They've done it at that, and they're doing one at some point at the convention center, they're having an EMS convention or something, but that's an amazing idea.
Yeah,
Because that's also a program where it's like $71, you'd probably know, $71 a year for, you know, Airvac out of here.
for them to come out and set up a table, maybe even bring one of their choppers in.
Right, that's what he said, cause they will do that, they'll do demonstrations like this is how quickly, you can get out of here.
Yeah,
Especially if we have a weather station.
Going to coordinate that with the fire department.
I'll include it when I include. them, cause Brian, our,
Right, 'cause
Chief Ritter would be, he talks directly to them and he would be the best one, so I can just include that in the email to the fire department.
Yeah, good idea.
So the county got rid of that thing where there was like only one person in the county that was authorized to.
Yeah, that was a great idea.
They can go to any, I mean, they can land anywhere now.
Oh, no, I know that, but it used to be in Grace Harbor County, there was a person
Oh,
who was the
yeah,
authorized entity to call it.
no,
Is that gone now? I
Yes.
hope.
mhm.
Good.
Good feedback, that's a good one.
Okay, do we have any more suggestions from the visitors?
So if they did wanna do like a display of landing the, that would be another one of these notams for a different time, and you guys would have
No,
to
they
designate the
can
time.
just fly it.
They can just do it.
Yeah, the chopper can just.
Cause they're, okay,
Cause they're,
okay,
communication.
I don't want it to get to the day and we're like, you didn't do that, so.
Yeah, no, that's just them flying in and being on display, no big deal.
Okay,
And if I'm successful with the Guard getting one of their helicopters also. That they would just fly in and be on display.
mhm.
If they offer a Chinook, I'm gonna tell them, no, I don't think so. That would just be too big to handle, you know.
you think?
Yeah, I mean, you know, in the real world, if there was, you know, catastrophe stuff going on and, you know, bringing supplies in, yeah, they would use Chinooks. But, for our purposes, having them come in and park and,
Yeah, when those
Makes
are
up that
just
much
taxiing
space.
around, there's a hurricane around them.
yeah, so, but, they've got, CH-146s. Or LH-146s, which is a smaller thing, about the size, a little bit bigger than a Bell Jet Ranger. That would be, I think, the appropriate size, maybe a Black Hawk, if it came down to it. Chinook, no. No reason to bother.
You mean as part of a recruiting effort for them?
Well, that's how they would,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
join the car. But, and they have, how many times did they get deployed to Afghanistan when that was going on? Oh, 3 times. Anyhow. But I will reach out to them this afternoon. That's my job for this afternoon.
Okay,
I've got another new business thing too. When you
sure, go ahead.
Okay. It would be good to see where we are at with our, grants from the FAA. I personally have lost track of where our grant level is.
Yeah, you know, I got this little brochure here. Airport Grant Aid Program. Sarah, have you seen this?
Nope,
All right, I don't know where it came from or how long it's been in here. It's a WSDOT Aviation Projects and Programs. And I did highlight a couple of things in here. Airport Aid Grant Program.
Is that WSDOT?
WSDOT, yeah, and it says,
We got it at the General Aviation Conference that was in Puyallup
Yeah.
oh,
this
okay.
year.
Yeah, it says, grant funds may be used for planning, acquisition, construction, improvement, and maintenance of airports.
Yeah.
All projects must be included in the WSDOT Aviation's 5-year statewide cap improvement program, SKIP. You want this?
yes,
But that's an important one, although in my memory, they are easier to work with than the FAA. She gives out a bigger chunk. What is that, 150,000 a year
mhm.
at this point? And I'm curious to find out where our balance is with that.
I can
It's-
give that when I do the, budget breakdown also.
Well, you got, yeah, but I think it's asking them, hey, how much do we got in our bank? The FAA.
Right, but, Sarah kept spreadsheets and stuff of what we had used versus what we hadn't, so
There we go.
I'm thinking that she probably has something. We're in the process right now of, we took all of our files, grants and airport materials, and my department's actually scanning and itemizing those documents right now, so after this week, maybe after next week, we'll have a better understanding of
Yeah.
where everything
It seems
sits.
like we didn't spend a lot of money last year. Or the year before for that matter. So we might have a bank build up of,
We did that. We did the whole shrubbery tree obstruction clearing.
The
That was-
obstruction removal.
Yeah.
That was like $1.5 million.
Mhm.
$1.5 billion. So I think more than double truckloads.
It was a huge number by the time it was over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think, I think I've got the spreadsheet that you're talking about here, and to answer one of your questions. You remember, was it, last year when we painted the runway?
Yeah.
$792. That was for, reimbursing you, Bill, when you bought the paint and all the rollers and stuff. Remember we had our painting party out there?
Yep. Stuart missed that.
Well, you didn't invite me, Bill.
I'm sure we tried.
Yeah, I know, I remember, I wasn't in town.
Yeah, if you paint those numbers white, you realize just how big those things are.
And how wide the runway stripes are.
Yeah. And there's, let's see what we've got here. Oh, I don't know how to read these spreadsheets, and they're, utility bills.
I think we should table this conversation till Sarah can finish going through the previous Sarah's files so she can answer any questions we might have.
I can make sure that you have that before the next meeting.
Thank you.
And last action item, airnap.com. If you go onto their site, this is what you get. You go to airnap.com and put in W04, which is us. You get 3 or 4 pages of information, and some of the information is a little bit out of date. Names and, oh gosh, where was it? It's in here somewhere.
Oh, yeah, we need,
Names and phone numbers. I need to be, have a look at those.
well, definitely, because Sarah's Logan, or Sarah,
Listen,
the song,
Yeah.
is probably on there as a contact. We need to, every now we need to put your personal cell phone number on there.
Yeah, actually, it is. It's right here. You know, her name is in the assumption.
Who's in the shower?
Ron.
Okay, well, I don't think I've got anything else. Stuart, you got anything?
No, not right offhand.
Jerry, you got anything?
No, if anyone needs help, you know, with any of the safety planning or anything, let me know. I'm certainly willing to help out with anything.
All right, Jerry, I'll reach out to you when I'm in town.
Who else? Oh, let's circle back just a minute, you know, as far as the public contact thing. Who should be placed as the contact person in the city for folks to telephone?
Well, right now on our website, we have myself and then Scott, the city administrator. I think that what will end up transpiring is he and I will just work collectively on a lot of the things.
Okay.
So
Like on this public information page.
well, I'm the actual PIO for the city, so it wouldn't hurt for me to be on it anyway.
Okay.
So that would be fine.
Okay.
But I think like Scott will be a huge decision maker for different things and.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I'll probably present your guys' budget at budget time and that kind of stuff. We'll just work in tandem.
All right, well,
When would you guys like, I don't wanna lose momentum on the appreciation day, so what would be, do you wanna do another month? Do you wanna do 2 weeks, like another meeting? What do you think?
what we got now? March, April, May, June, July. You know, looking at, Bill's approach, you know, we don't wanna wind up in a crunch. at the
That's,
last minute.
yeah, and I feel bad because I almost need the meetings more because
Yeah.
I don't wanna miss something or, you know what I mean?
Let's go with month.
Sure.
I would, so Bill has a suggestion here. I would suggest that we meet in the middle of May at the airport.
Oh,
And so we can walk the site, we can talk about things, and then we know what's going on, as opposed to thinking that there's artwork on the history of the airport in the pilot's lounge. We can actually see what's there, and I think that would give people a better feel for how the appreciation day will actually happen if we meet on site.
Can you, Sarah, can you set up the owl
mhm,
there?
yeah,
Okay.
you guys have, well, I have hotspots and stuff anyway, so,
All right,
yeah, mhm.
sounds good to me. Yeah.
You just have to, I mean, the public has to be able to come there.
We have to let.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's an OPMA requirement, so that's why we have to do this OWL, why the meeting has to be here. So there's OPMA requirements for the state of Washington. So you have to have a physical location for the public to view the meeting. So you guys could go down there and talk in the pilot's lounge, and I could sit here and, you know, if somebody like Jim wanted to come in, those are RCW rules, OPMA, Open Public Meetings Act. Yep. There's no two ways about it. You can argue with me all day long. It's what I do for a living.
Yeah, that's the way it is, Stuart, it's, yeah. This meeting
Okay,
is
folks, I gotta move on, so, are we done, or can I just go away?
I think we're done.
We can move to adjourn. Move to adjourn.
All in favor?
Hang on.
Aye.
Set a meeting date?
Well, I could send that out because I gotta make sure I'm available for the meeting part. So I can send that out and see if that works for the group, a date.
Okay,
Wanna go
Thank
to?
you.
Okay.
thank you, Bill.
All in favor of adjourn?
Motion,
Yeah,
Sarah.
they did. They already did.
All right.